Lynne Maldonado, CryoSkin, Non-invasive fat loss technology. This is episode 114 on Alternative Health Tools podcast, where together we discover and share new alternative health tools and resources from alternative healthcare practitioners and experts. Lynne Maldonado discovered the secret to relieving herself of chronic pain that kept her bedridden for years. And when she discovered CryoSkin, a soothing healing method, she lost 60 pounds along with the pain. Cara regained the energy and vigor that she had forgotten and wants to share that technique with everyone. She explains the details of how it works and tells success stories to co-host Kim Shea.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Alternative Health Tools. I'm your co-host, Kim Shea, coming to you from this side of the pond here in Southern California. Today, I have a wonderful guest to talk to. Her name is Cara Ray Maldonado, and she is the co-founder and owner of Lite Cryo in Laguna, Niguel, which is located in Southern California. And she's got a great story and great energy. I know you're going to want to hear from her. So welcome, Cara. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Kim, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Thank you. Tell me about your background. Tell us who you are.
Okay. So I am a mom of 4. I have 3 boys and 1 daughter. My daughter is actually the co-founder of Lite. So she does the supplements with me. I'm a grandma. I have 4 grandchildren, wow. three girls and 1 boy. So the opposite of what I had in grandkids. Super exciting. And I come from corporate, is my background. I worked in real estate sales and development of large real estate housing projects all over from, the Pacific Northwest to SoCal here. And I did that for about 27 years. And when I got injured on the job and subsequently I was ill, I became ill, and it was a 2-year struggle with going back and forth to the doctors trying to determine what was the cause of this horrific pain that I was feeling all over my body. And come to find out that I do have autoimmune. I had fibromyalgia and lupus. So in being in the industry of real estate and having to travel wherever the projects were, it was really, it was tiring, on me, on my body, especially with the lupus. But, not knowing what the cause was, you tried to supplement with, energy drinks and all the wrong things that people do because they think that's what it is. And I didn't find out what it was until about 5 years ago when I had became really ill with a blood disorder. And that's what led me into the CryoSkin, and what I do now was after going through, treatments and everything for almost 2 years, and then looking for some more holistic way of getting help to get out of, what I was doing, as far as, going and having chemo and having all these meds that you are put on. I wanted to find a healthier way to do it. Not that I thought I can come up with a miracle, but between being introduced to CryoSkin and the lymphatic drainage that happens through this machine, I was able to get a lot of relief once releasing the toxins from my body. So I left my career that I had, and I said, I want to know more about this, and I want to figure out how I can now be a retailer and have this business and educate women and men of this machine, this wonderful machine that came from France, and how it is, was used in the medicinal purpose there. And so that's where Lite was discovered 2 years ago.
So you've known about this for longer than 2 years, though, right?
Yes. 3 years ago, I became a client. And so I, sought out treatments myself. And I was probably 6 months into the treatments, and I lost almost half of my body, in both water and weight. I lost
Wow.
70 pounds really quickly.
Wow.
After going through that transformation and feeling so much more energy and alleviating the pain that I was having, I decided to go cold turkey and throw away all 36 pills that I used to have to take every day. I just got rid of them. And I said, and mainly it was because the technician at the time sat me down and said to me, this machine does more than slim and tone you and everything. It's actually removing fat cells permanently that carry toxins, and you're flushing them lymphatically. So it's removing inflammation from you, thus, cleaning your system out. And it was the greatest thing for your digestive tract, which is your core, where everything nasty hangs out in there. And so it helped move everything through your intestines, opening up your blood vessels, just flowing, just really cleansing you out. And it gave me so much energy. And I was like, I went from not leaving my room for almost a year to now being able to go and hold events and talk to people and be on, shows like this, go live to explain there are other options. And, it's not a fluke. It's not just some get well quick thing. It's a lifestyle change. And, I treat myself every month to keep my flare-ups at bay, because there is no cure for a lot of the autoimmune other than you change your diet, you get some exercise into your life. Also, it's removing the toxins and the inflammation out of your body.
Wow. That's quite a story. So 36 pills, and those are gone.
Yes.
And
Almost 2 years in April.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you look great. You look, I would never know that was your backstory to look at you, because you look like you have a lot of energy. And you have to, I guess, with all those grandkids and all those kids. So,
right.
And your own business. But yeah, you look like somebody who's got a ton of energy. What a nice story. Could you describe what lymphatic drainage is?
Okay. So how I do it with my machine is I literally am massaging your body with a wand. And it's a T-Shock Teflon wand so it reads your vitals and lets me know exactly where to find those fat cells. So I'm watching the monitor on the machine as I'm massaging whichever area, it's head to toe. So some people come in there and they want to lose inches around their waist. And so I'm in, your abdomen area. And the lymphatic drainage is when I bring those cells to the sublayer and I freeze them. I'm massaging them and breaking them down. Then I apply a heating over the cold. And that it's almost like an ice cube, if you think of it that way. Freeze it up, and then you put the heat on it, and then it melts down. And through the massaging process that I'm doing, because you're going to come to me hydrated, it's very important to drink a minimum of 2 to 3 quarts of water. And so when I'm breaking it down and it melts down, you're going to flush it out lymphatically, which is either by your sweat, going to the restroom, crying, sneezing, any way you can deposit out of your pores and out of your system. And not all the fat cells with the toxins are released that way.
So what is a person experiencing who's receiving this treatment? What does it feel like?
Oh, wow. I get so many different, people are like, oh, they can't believe it. It's just, it's remarkable. Once you get used to the warmth going to the cold to the freezing, it goes in steps. So it's not like I'm putting a machine on you and automatically you're sub-zero temperatures. It works its way up because it's working on a cellular level. It's working with your body. So it starts to do the change then. The relief of you'll get immediate results. You usually will lose anywhere from a half to 1 inch on whatever area I'm working on because of the inflammation and the drainage that's coming off of you initially. And so the relief of feeling that pressure is one. And then I always hear, if you're in pain because it's holding whatever area, if say I'm doing someone's love handles, that pressure, that weight on their back. The cold is a relief. A lot of people like that. And, and so they're really into feeling that coolness. And then the warmth comes, and then, the warmth just sometimes I get someone fall asleep on my table.
That's always a compliment, isn't it?
And so it's, I've gotten both ends of it. Never anyone jump off and say, oh my God, what are you doing? It's really like, it's a relieving of their pain. And most people are in pain. When you're carrying weight and toxicity in your body, it's causing some kind of pain. Somewhere. And so the coldness really does relieve that. And then the heating just kind of soothes it over because I end it with the heat.
Wow. Sounds relaxing.
Yeah, it can be. Yes.
Sounds nice. Okay. I was wondering if it was painful, but
no, it's no downtime, no pain. I mean, there's no injections, there's no cutting, and it's all working with your natural body and, with the sub-zero temperature, the warmth. Each one of the settings that I will put the machine on plays a part. If you want toning, if you want slimming, if you have a muscular injury, or if it's inflammation that needs to be removed. So there's all different ways that I can treat somebody with this machine.
Okay. So how often would somebody do this?
It's 2 weeks for a slimming procedure and 1 week if they're doing toning and tightening.
So they would come in and then they would see effects within 2 weeks, or that's how often they would come back?
That's how often they come back. You'll see results immediately. And with the slimming process, it continues working for 14 days after your first treatment. So as long as the individual is staying hydrated, you want to maintain throughout your treatments. I would like to have someone drink a half a gallon to a gallon of water a day to get their best results. But a minimum of 2 quarts, complete minimum of 2 quarts. And every day, if you're doing that, you're still going to be depositing and flushing out the toxins. And I've had people come in and lose an inch from one treatment, come back in 2 weeks, and they've lost 1.5 inches more on top of it. Wow. And those are the ones who are really dedicated to changing, because it's a lifestyle change. You want to change your diet. You want to change what you're eating. You want to get some exercise, even if it's just walking for 30 minutes, but you want to make a change and do something. You want to make sure your body is intaking the proper supplements that you need. And so once you have all of those things in place, and if you're really practicing that on a day-to-day basis, that's when you get the best results from this treatment. And keep in mind, it came from France, and they were using it there for post-cancer, autoimmune, rheumatoid arthritis, pains, injuries, things like that. And the side effect, if you will call it a side effect, was they were seeing the glow from their patients, and they were toning and getting slimmer. And so, again, Botox was originally for migraines, and it was brought to the States to do fine lines and wrinkles. So when we got a hold of this wonderful machine that was doing all these awesome things over in Europe, FDA has, a little bit of a challenge, here in the United States when it comes to, okay, that's great, but it's used primarily for cosmetic reasons. I use it for both, but I would say 70% of my clients come to me for more of the medicinal issues for it. And I have learned how this machine ends up helping you on a medical reasons, organically in such wonderful ways. And so that's my mission, because that's how I was introduced to it. And yes, I did lose weight through the process. Yes, my skin did tone through the process. But more so, I'm no longer bedridden. I'm no longer wearing slippers. I think I wore for 2 years because I couldn't wear a heel. And I mean, the ones with rubber soles, because I was always afraid I would fall when I could try to walk. I mean, I am up dancing and having a good time with my kids, whereas before, I wasn't sure what the next day was going to bring. So, with that is my reason for platforms like this, where I can tell people, about this wonderful product, and anything that has to do with lymphatic drainage. Please do it. It's so important. It's so important to get that toxin and inflammation off of you. It's 80+% of what causes chronic illnesses and chronic pain.
Okay, that's very valuable to know. So what are you able to do right now? We're in a pandemic and a lot of things are locked down. Are you able to practice? Can people come see you? Yes,
they do. I actually moved into my home. I have a studio in my home where I keep all of my equipment, and I tube treat. Because I believe that I am an essential, I offer an essential service. I have a lot of seniors that may have lymphedema, rheumatoid arthritis, and I give them relief when they come to see me. And so, yes, the city even reached out and said, hey, tell us what you do, so that there's I can really be open without issue. And I had to email everything that I do. And one of the things, that I did that was really big through this pandemic was start a program called OC Body Revive, where together I have a team of 5 of us, and we're concentrating on the whole pandemic and getting you back. You're getting your health back on track, boosting your immune system. So there is a therapeutic nutritional chef that works with me. I have a personal trainer. My daughter does all our supplements. There's even a coach that works with us, and she is a spiritual therapist coach who specializes in eating disorders and, chronic pain and illnesses, which has been wonderful for us. We had an event just this past Sunday, and it was very successful, introducing ourselves to the community and a lot of the other businesses, chiropractors, massage therapists that want to have another option of sending their clients and patients to, because we're doing holistic, organic things. And our program specializes with you, no matter your age, your disability, if you're gluten, if you have diabetes, if you're vegan, whatever it is, everything is customized to each individual. So there's no cookie cutter here. I customize my treatments. Our nutritionist customizes. Everybody has a customized treatment and action plan. And so it's been a really great, added thing to Ray of Light was for us to do that, because no one is offering that. It's either you get a package meal plan or you watch someone on Zoom show you a few exercises, but nothing that all encompasses each other. And it's an accountability. We all support and coach each other, and we all check in, and I'm really, really proud of it.
It sounds awesome. Sounds really great. I'm glad you got good reception for it when you had your event. That sounds great. I was going to ask you about that. That's cool. Mm-hmm. So what are you able to do, speaking of Zoom, what are you able to do virtually for people? So if somebody here is listening and they're not in Laguna, Niguel, how can you connect with them, or how can they get something from you?
Well, they can always, my sessions, of course, I have to touch you. I have to see you. However, in the beginning, when March 17th, when we shut down, and there was a whole month before I decided to make a drastic change and move my business, I was reaching out to my clients via Zoom, and just literally it was more of a coaching type of thing. Okay. Cause they were in a panic. They were used to seeing me every 1 to 2 2 weeks, and it was a panic situation. Okay. And it's more accountability coaching. So what do I do? I'm feeling this way, what should I eat? What should, how, just all the hows and the whys and that type of thing. And I'm there for them. I do the program. I do the program right along with my clients. And so I know of a lot of exercises that you can do with just what you have in your home. I can tell you about the meal plans if you're stuck on, what should I eat? How can I roll it out? I can provide you with them. Each one of my counterpartners too are accessible during via Zoom. You can get the coach. She has her courses on a Facebook Live webinar type thing. And the personal trainer is also available to do that if that's easier, to just kind of walk you through simple steps of what you can do. And you can also go on Brandon's website, and he does courses on Zoom as well. So we have the availability, and a lot of us are doing things virtually right now.
Okay, good. Because I'm just thinking if somebody's listening to you and they're enjoying your energy, and we have listeners in the UK and all over, so they might not be able to come to see you, but they might want to connect with you. That's great.
Absolutely. I can always connect people too. Like I've had people come on my Facebook Live or hit me up in Instagram from Dubai and all over the places. And I can try to connect them with CryoSkin partners throughout the United States or over in Europe. I've been asked to do that. So there's, I will, and if I don't know, I'm going to find it out and I will get back to you. I always do what I say I'm going to do. So, anything, no question is too big or too small, anything.
That's nice. That's really nice. So you get a lot out of this business, like personally, it sounds like.
Yes. It's my baby. It's really, it's really, I have people that's come through here that just did not want to face another day. And I know that sounds a little hard, but I was there and I totally can relate to them and understand that. And, on Sunday, I was getting such praise, like, you're changing my life. I had people come in pulling their shirts up to show before and afters in the middle of the event, and I didn't expect it. And no, I didn't pay them and ask them to do it. A lot of my clients, existing and past clients, showed up that I didn't even know were going to come there. I was more introducing it to newer people and the businesses, but it was a lot of support. And just to hear, how it's made relationships better for them, or maybe in business because now they're more active or they're able to do a little bit more, and just to hear that, is like, if I could just change one person and make them feel better, just help one person, it's made my day. It's made my week, so
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you have any particular story of somebody that you would want to share that was maybe one of your biggest successes other than yourself? Because you sound like a huge success.
Well, I'm currently on the end of my work on Dr. Ted. He is a retired pediatrician, chief of pediatrician from the Children's Hospital here in Orange County, and he's 75. He came to me 6 months ago and said, I need to lose 100 pounds because I want to get in my skinny jeans because in my mind, I'm 50. And I was so happy. I was like, okay. I was nervous because he was one of to do a body transformation for someone at his, senior. I hadn't not done that, and most people that come to me are between 30 and maybe 60 that want to do that kind of change. But, he said, you don't turn me away. He said, I'm not going to they told me to do a tummy tuck after liposuction. And I'm not doing something that invasive. And he said, he knew of 2 other people that I had, worked on. And he said, I want you to do that for me. And I sat him down. We had a long consultation because when I get on there, I go on that journey with you. And I'm invested. It like I said, it is a massage. I'm not sitting an apparatus on you and walking out for an hour and letting it do its job. I'm physically doing that. So we need to partner up, and I need to know that you're serious, like you're going to change your lifestyle and what you're eating. You'll double up on your water intake. You're going to get some exercise in your life. But first of all, it's a mindset change, and you got to have your mind clear to know, because it's going to be a good 3 to 6 months journey that we're going to be together doing this. And you need to be serious about it. And so I talked to him about it, and he said, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't serious. And he said, I'm going to do the work. I will eat right. I will start exercising. He started walking 3 to 4 miles a day is what he started doing. And as more and more weight dropped off of him, then he started doing crunches and everything. So his activity progressed as the pounds started shedding. And I must say, he was one of the people that showed up on Sunday. It's 6 months since we've been working, and he has lost, I want to say, 87 pounds.
Oh, my.
87 pounds. He looked fabulous. And I hadn't seen him for a couple of weeks because he said, he's very spiritual. And I have him wearing the waist trainer, the belt. So because I'm doing the sculpting and the slimming. And so that helps support you. And he said, I'm going to take time off of our last 2 appointments when I do for the skin toning, because he said, I'm going to manifest my Fabio. And it was so great. That. He said, I'm manifesting it. And so he stayed away from me, and he did this grand coming in, and we still have 2 tonings in where I sculpt him at the end. And but I have no more fat. And he said, he was telling everyone the testimony. He said that machine works. He goes, he didn't even say the machine. He said that lady works. And I do. And he just looked so great. His skin was great. He just looked really good. You wouldn't have thought he was 75. Wow. And he had his jeans on with his belt and his shirt tucked in. And he told me, he said, we were going to get there. You asked me 6 months ago if I was going to do it. And I told you I was going to do it as long as you did your part. And he said, so here I am.
That's awesome.
I mean, yes, he's my success story, because, we all know that after 30, elasticity just has no gravity. Everything goes, right? Yep, everything goes. So, for now at 75 to come to me and say, can you remove my fat and make me feel better? He was at a threat of having hip replacement surgery. He told me he has no more pain.
Jeez.
He's in no more pain. And he and that's what made him come to me, was when they said, we're going to have to give you a replacement. He said, I need to lose 100 pounds. I'm not going to do that. And, and so he had a goal, and I had to work that with him, and we worked it together. And now he's feeling no pain. He says, he went back and had another MRI and everything. And he goes, they're asking me, what did I do? What happened here? Wow. So he says it's our secret.
No. You go share that.
Share that. Right?
Exactly. Because that's quite an endorsement of your product, and your touch, and you're changing lives. That's really is great. It's great to meet you. That's what you do. Do you have any tips you could give listeners who, a lot of people are just going through a really rough time right now? There's isolation, there's stress. Do you have any tips, since you seem like you know so much about health in general, but what tips can you give us?
I think right now it's really important to start with yourself, your inner self, and getting grounded. I start every morning with meditation and yoga. And I know that sounds cliche to people, but I mean, it really is something, and it's something that everyone's always heard of. For years, I've known that you got to meditate to do it. And what happens is we keep telling we don't have the time, or we don't feel like it, or, it's always something else that comes up. And since COVID hit, I didn't want to go into any kind of depression, and I knew that it's very easy to do that, especially coming from where I did 3 years ago, so I would get up, and before you get out of bed, you can find so many things on your YouTube. You have your phone. We sit here with our phone and we go on social media before we do anything. Well, what I do is I hit a morning meditation, and for positive energy or for gratitude, just being gracious and grateful that you woke up the next day, and whatever it is that you want to get your day started, get your intentions right. And it will make such a big difference, as you start there. Everything is mindset. And once you get that right, then you just start taking things away. If it's something you're eating that is like full of gluten or making you sick or not making you right, you just take one thing away every day, every week, whatever is easier for you. Don't do everything at once, because then you're overwhelmed. But just cut back on something, add something, take something away, but just do something, start doing something different, anything, and you'll feel a change. Energy is everything. It's everything. And you'll start. And if you're feeling positive and listening to positive affirmations and starting your day with good intentions, then you bring out energy that's positive, and then good things will come back to you. I think that's important. Journaling. I journal every morning, every night. Get rid of, do what I call journal dumping. If you wake up and you just have a bad day, or you end with a bad day, just scribble all the bad thoughts, tear it out and throw it away, and go and listen to, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, anybody, something positive, and, but have a plan, start having a plan, and start your day with your intentions, and just know what it's all about. Why are you here? Why are you important? Because we are important.
That's wonderful. You're very inspiring, and I'm really glad you came on to talk to me today. So
thank you.
I will put your information in the show notes, and your website is myrayoflight.com, and people can contact you there and reach out to you, get some more information, or maybe connect with you some other way, especially if they're in the area. Come in and see what she's doing there. It sounds like you're a miracle worker. I think it's great.
Thanks. Thank you. I think together, it's a collaboration. We do it together.
Yeah, that's definitely what it sounds like. It's not okay to come and see you and then be trashing your body or your mind at the same time. You have to decide you want to move forward, and you're there to help them along. And that just sounds wonderful.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Cara. This has been Cara Maldonado, and thank you so much for coming on. And like I said, people can find you on the website in the show notes at myrayoflight.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can catch this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts, and consider coming by alternativehealthtools.com and leave us an audio message, question, feedback, or just say hi. This has been Kim Shea, your co-host from this side of the pond here in Southern California. Bye-bye.
Produced by Heard Not Seen Media. Visit imaginepodcasting.com for more information.